Okay, here we are. Junk Journal for Beginners and back to the basics. So, I have been thinking, what do I do when I come across these really busy pages? I know that you can do things like add a bit of gesso and it kind of pushes the writing from a book page or music page to the background. But in this that we've made here real quick, I have a lot of gel plate prints. Granted, we could write on that side, and I know that you can write a little bit on this acrylic paint. It's just a little bit harder. And so what do you do when you have, we'll just take this, busy pages, and you want to tone them down a bit and make it so that it's available writing space? Well, I had an idea. And my first thought is, you're going to think I'm crazy because I'm actually going to grab more book page. I just love the font of this. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So I know. Which page should we do? How about, pick one, left or right? Which page should we work on? How about we'll do the right? Okay, so this is a pretty big book page. What I want to do is I'm going to grab my ruler and I want to make it fit on here. So I'm going to go right about there and then tear. So now I know it will fit that way. Oh, but then we're covering up the whole page and it is kind of pretty. So how about we take some off of this side as well. And then we're going to take some off the top. Just get rid of that white space. And it is still too long. So let's just shorten it up. We'll guesstimate right here. What do we have now? All right, we've got this. So I'm going to take my ground espresso. First things first, and I'm going to go ahead and go around the edges of this. Okay, and then I'm thinking, let's put this aside for just a second. And let's grab a stencil. Any stencil will do. And I think we'll stick with this brown for a minute. And grab a paddle brush. Now, these you can grab at the Dollar Tree in the makeup section. And I think what I want to do is maybe get some of this over here at the top. And how about down the side? And then over here. And probably up at the top. You're welcome. Do we do a little down here? Why not? Why not? Let's just put a little bit down there. Okay. So I'm going to keep this out, though. I'm going to set the brown aside. Okay. So I know we've made it even more busy. And guess what? We're about to glue this on. And yes, that means we're making it even busier. But the point is to show you what to do with a busy page, or you could do this same technique on a plain page where you feel like there's just too many blank pages in your journal. So you just take a book page, ink around the edge, give a little bit of the stencil as a background, and then let me put my lid on my glue here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab some index cards. Now, I got these at the Dollar Tree. I've got 4 here, but I think we may only use 2. And I think I'm going to use the other side because it's white. And what I want to do is I want to make them shorter than this. So I also know that I like ripped edges. So I'm going to do both of these edges, about like that. Yeah. And that means a little at the bottom as well. Now, you don't have to have ripped edges. And why not do this side? And we're going to do the exact same thing to one more here. So I'm just going to rip there. They don't have to match exactly. I'm going to rip there. And what would you do if you end up with these index cards with lines on both sides? Don't worry about it. Just use one of the sides with lines. All right. Now, I am going to go ahead and bust this out one more time. And I think, yeah, we should. Let's just go around the edges. You don't have to, but I just think it gives it a little something, something. You know, a little pizzazz, I guess. All right, now we're done with the brown. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we glue these down. And what if you don't have art glitter glue? Well, do you have any clear Elmer school glue? Or what about just regular PVA glue? Any glue you want, just know that PVA glue does have water in it. It's water-based. So it will kind of wrinkle pages if the pages are really thin. All right, let's do this one. There we go. And we'll put that there. Now, I will say, pay attention to the wording on your book page because you can come out with some really funky stuff, like bad words, horrible sayings, things that just don't sound right. Like right here, it says, escorted by Cecil Beaton, the play's costume. So I'm not worried about that, but if you're using a book that, just check. Just check over your words. Oh, boy. Okay. So now we have writing space, but it's plain, right? Ha-ha. I'm seeing a little bit of purple in the background. So I've grabbed Shaded Lilac and Wilted Violet, a different paddle brush. And what I'm going to do is bring this stencil back in. Whoops. Start with the lighter color. And I think what we'll do is maybe just come in like that. Oh, and it is darker because, see, I've used this on something else. I need to get more of these paddle brushes. Let's move to the darker purple. And let's come over here. Ooh, see, now I like that. Maybe we need one of these pretty purples right in this area, like that. I think we need a little at the edge. Yeah. See, how cute is that? Now we can come over to this side and maybe give it a little bit. How about a little up here? There we go. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a flow. And then my next idea, I love buttons. I've got a little bit of buttons right here, and I want to put one on this. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. You could use 3-in-1 or Fabrifix hot glue. But this, believe it or not, holds down buttons. And I just think I want, ooh, that one would work. So I'm going to put a plop of glue and just plop the button down right there. Now, obviously, this page will need time to dry, so that stays. But over here, we want to do something with buttons, right? So that it kind of goes together. Well, I have put some buttons on this thin strand of, I don't even know what it is. Maybe you do. Okay, here it is. It's kind of silky like ribbon, but it's real thin. And I just took some out, grabbed some buttons and my pokey tool. And here's one. Here's a button. Here's what I did. Oh, I don't need the pokey tool for this one. I just shoved it through and then tied a knot so that it would stay. And I did a few of them on this. And I was kind of thinking, now hot glue would be better for this, but I was kind of thinking we could glue this over here as like a page edge strip. That might be kind of cool. So let's see. Again, hot glue would be much better for this. Why? Just because it gives an immediate hold. And I think what I'll do is I'm just going to go right up like this. And we probably will have to add more glue. Oh, I went too high. Let's even that out. Okay. And then get these buttons down in that glue. There we go. And I think I will go ahead and get that little strand, hopefully, to stay there. All right. Now, that is just one idea for a journal. A journal page spread, I should say. And I don't know, I feel like it's fairly quick and easy. I think, how long have we been doing this? Maybe 10 minutes or so. And if we had not added the buttons, it would be flat, so it wouldn't make our journal chunky. Now, I don't mind a chunky journal, so I don't mind that we added those. Now, the other thing we could do is go into our scrap bin, whether it's lace or whether it is fabric, and we could see what we could find. That's a little bit pink and purple, and we could create a page tab. So let's just grab this, and then, ooh, look at that. That's pink and purple. Let's go ahead and take that off. Do we glue it on there or just, no, I think just this. So my thought was to just glue a little here and put it over like that, and it's a page tab. So let's do that. We'll just cut a couple inches. How big is this exact? Let me see. Oh, it's exactly 2 inches long. And then what we do is we just take a little glue and we put some on each end of this. One there and one there. We could go in the middle to help it stay together. You don't have to, though. And then put that there. And this one right there. How cute is that? Now, we could even add a little bit more. Maybe grab, let me see if I have a butterfly or something. I do. That's blue, but we do have some blue in the page. So we could do that. I'll put that away. And then get this back out and just get some glue on that. And there we go. Now, of course, that for sure needs to dry. Do we want to take this leftover piece and do anything over here with it? I don't think so. I don't think so. But since we have one of those, we could, oh boy, we could come to another page. Maybe, I was just thinking use another one, or use it on another page as a second one. I don't know. We'll keep this just in case. I'll just put it with this tag here, just in case we want to use that. And, well, we could call it quits for today and let it dry, or what we could do is we could take these two here, and why don't we grab a pair of scissors. You can usually find these at a thrift store for like 10 cents. And what we could do is create writing space for another page when we come across it. Now, I would think that the other side of this is going to be approximately the same color. So since we already have our purple dauber, or no, our purple ink pads out, we could go around these with it. Let me grab a dauber that's the right color. So I found these on Amazon quite a while ago. And it looks like maybe we could use this one, but I don't have a light purple yet. So we'll use that. And here's what we'll do. We'll do one, this dark purple. We'll just go around the edges of this. Now, I wanted to tell you, over here, I did not do writing space on this side because this side is already perfect for writing. You can write right over all of this and still see what you wrote. So that was my thought process on that, in case you were wondering. Okay, shaded lilac. That is a lot lighter than I thought it was. There we go. Cute. Okay, let's put the dauber back. I'm curious if, I'm thinking maybe that this is dry enough to move the page a little. And there it is. There's the other side. But what if this time we did put them over here just for something different? That would be fun. Or, you know what we could do? I could do it down here, only glue it down here and here as a pocket, but then you can write on the front, and then we could glue this one up here at the top. Do the same thing. It could be an upper tuck and writing space. Let's do that. So I'm going to grab, I bent my pen. Ugh. So it doesn't want to go in the bottle very well. But let's go ahead and we'll glue 3 sides so that this is a pocket. And we'll put it down here in the corner. Okay, and then this one, I'm thinking we glue here and here so you can tuck something up in there. But how well will it stay? I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we have a couple of tuck spots and writing space. Now, do you think it needs this? Why not? So I'll just use some of this glue this time. And put that there. And that there. Give that a second to dry. And come back to this. And let's see what might match. I mean, we could do that butterfly, but I don't really think it looks right. We've got a flower. There is a little pink there, but that might be too much pink. But we could put the pink flower there. Boy, I need to organize this. How do you guys organize all your little itty-bitty pieces? Oh, and then we could put a tag. Oh, that one wants to come out, and I don't want it to. I just don't know. Oh, look. A tiny little butterfly in pink. And then, what do I have here? Yeah, see, it's just, it's all discombobulated. Maybe that. Okay, I'm going to put this away underneath me. And let's get the gooped glue off there. Okay. So we'll glue this down first. And I'm thinking, how about down in this corner? And then we'll glue this. There we go. And then up here, we'll get these on there. Whoa, not upside down. There we go. And call it good. Yes. What do you think? All right. Now, I have a question. Do you guys have any things that you want me to do? Any requests? I would love to fulfill requests if you have any. Otherwise, I do have more simple ideas to come back with. So let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you might like to see. And we will let these dry like this. I actually, that button's lifting a little. I might come back in and just give a little more glue underneath as reinforcement. Any others? Maybe this one here. Just reinforce that. Oh, I'm off camera. It's that bigger button down there on the side. All right. I think that's good. But it does need time to dry. So I'm going to have to wait and not touch it. I hate that. I want to keep going. But all right, guys. I have not forgotten our verse of the day out of Proverbs. Proverbs 10:29 is for today. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to those with integrity, but it destroys the wicked. So that is our verse of the day. And I will see you either tomorrow or the next day. Bye, guys. And thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. Bye.